we have a slew of questions that came in. And one of the first interesting questions is about the B-12. As many of you have read around the globe now, in the magazine that just came out in May, I put excerpts from a scientific paper that I wrote on the need of B-12 supplementation in practically every single man, woman, and child on the earth. I also pointed out that was a discovery over the last few years that finally compulated into me going into the annals of medical history and looking at the anatomical changes that occurred. And as many of you may have heard me say or read in this article, that we have had a dynamic and major change in the large intestine's shape and positioning. And because of that, we no longer culture and cultivate B12 as we did before. So with that said, one of the first questions, of course, is methylcholamine being one of the very well-known B12s on the market. Many people touting that particular form of B12, dimethyl, for example, is superior because they have coenzymes that are involved with them that make them more digestible to the human cell. Now let's halt right there and let's use a little common sense in there and not look at what we call the old paradigm of biological science. First, these forms, which are 99.9% of the B12 supplements on the market, are cooked. They are isolated chemicals that were literally placed together by man's hands and then identified as complete enough to ingest and to absorb into the cell. Now, most of you, with even a light amount of knowledge on living food, would know once you isolate a chemical and cook it, it certainly doesn't have coenzyme status or coenzyme factors. You certainly know it doesn't have the ability to be absorbed by a living cell. What you have to know is that what we have done with LifeGive B-12, the only living form of B12 we know of on the market in North America, is that we looked at what is in the anaerobic bacteria of the intestinal tract of human beings. The anaerobic bacteria that's obviously alive in everyone's gastrointestinal tract, that's well enough, is what we mimicked. And out of a food-based, a living food-based, a cultured base of food quality B12 that was alive, we extracted those forms of living bacteria. They do have the coenzymes that the others claim about. They do have other cofactors and the nutrients that not only sustain them and allow them to develop into more and more, up into billions and billions of bacteria. They also have the nutritional factors that help to maintain the solidity and the stability of these bacteria in the large intestine. Going back again, B12 inherently and naturally is a soil-based microorganism. So that's the answer on that. Sadly, there's too many people out there that really think that you can count on things that come out of laboratories, and you cannot.